Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Now today I'm doing a Xenoverse 2 discussion. Now I know the game has not even been announced and Xenoverse came out in February, but guys, I haven't really done any of these Xenoverse 2 videos and I just want to discuss what I would make improvements on in the game. Kind of the things that I want to see, my little wish list. It might be incomplete, it's kind of just stuff I've been thinking about recently that I kind of want to talk about and get you guys' thoughts on and kind of spread my thoughts and opinions obviously. And I was originally going to have Quaman on this video, but he chickened out. Shout out to Quaman. But let's get right into a pretty self-explanatory video. So I think the first thing that really pops out is we need a rebalancing of the Super Saiyan form. I don't think it needs to give us infinite ki at all. Well, unlimited specials and ultimates. It doesn't drain ki for those necessarily. Maybe they can just make it so it doesn't drain super attacks. That wouldn't be that bad. But I think really the best thing is just an upgrade to stats and stuff. I think that's just like in Budokai. Just do what Budokai did. I know Budokai is a huge favorite in the fan base, but it really did the Super Saiyan and the transformations in general very well. I also would like to see more transformations for some of the characters, like Cell, obviously. Even though I don't think it's that necessary, I really didn't have a problem having Cell as a just as perfect form and not transforming. Even though I would like to see those other forms in Xenoverse 2, the imperfect and I guess semi-perfect. Even though I don't think anyone's a fan of semi-perfect Cell, unless you play Tenkaichi 3, then he's OP. But I don't think we really need transformations for those. That's just my opinion. If they can't make them work, then they can't make them work. Obviously, it's easy to make someone transform in a game. It's just about if it fits the game, if it looks right, if the transformation makes sense to how the rest of the game is built. Because with Super Saiyan, they're gonna need to keep draining ki. I would like it to be the Budokai style, where it didn't really drain your ki, but it did make your powers better. I don't think that really works with Xenoverse's playstyle, though. I really don't. That's just my opinion on it. The next thing. Get rid of Z-Souls completely. Z-Souls, we do not need them at all. I think Z-Souls just break the game, among other things, but there's a lot of really broken Z-Souls. And I think not only to just get rid of the Z-Souls, but I think one thing they just need to do is just eradicate them completely, because if they add Z-Souls into a new game, they're just going to be broken again, or there's going to be here and there some broken ones, especially with, DLC. Another thing, I think they need a remanagement of the ki and stamina system. I think even though I'm going back on what Budokai, I think that the Budokai system of the stamina and ki being one, ki was for everything. I think that worked fantastically. I really do. And I think that they can incorporate that some way. I think that there's just too many broken builds with stamina and ki. And I really want them to keep the RPG elements in Xenoverse 2. It's a huge thing with the game. They definitely need to retweak a lot of the custom character things. And I feel like custom characters, I know a lot of people disagree with me on this. Custom characters should not be allowed in ranked battles because they're broken. They really are. Player matches, sure. Fine. Ranked matches, custom characters are broken. They shouldn't be allowed in there, in my opinion. Let's get some more variety in the custom characters' fighting styles. Let's have one or two more options for fighting styles for like humans, Saiyans. You know how they all had one fighting style? Let's add another one just to give it a little more variety, I think. Obviously, Xenoverse is just like the skeleton of a new franchise in the Dragon Ball series, for all these games. And the second game I really have high hopes for, even though I love Xenoverse to death. The sky's the limit with the sequel because of how much they can improve and add. DIMPS is a phenomenal developer. They've been trying this new. This is something they haven't really done before. Is with Xenoverse, they made a really unique game for them, for that developer. It's very unique in terms of what they usually develop. Another thing. We really need to kind of have another beta, obviously. We need another beta for Xenoverse 2, but a proper beta. The thing is, with the network test, they said they were going to kind of give back on player feedback. They didn't really do it as much as I'd hope, but with the network test, they did have that. It wasn't really a beta. It was more of an alpha test thing. It was just kind of connection testing, really. We need a proper beta with Xenoverse 2, and hopefully we can get that. And as much as I love dedicated servers, it's not going to happen because the game doesn't have the budget for it. Another thing to add to this is I think that the clothing, like all the items and equipment, they should not have stat effects on your character. It makes you really picky about the clothes you wear, and it makes it hard to pick the clothes you want to wear because it affects your stats so much. You have to wear some stupid looking clothes to do really good, and it's pretty frustrating. At least if they do this, if they have clothing affect your stats still, which I really don't want, just have cosmetic slots as well, so I can wear whatever I want while having those stats on. That would be great. More accessories would be nice. We have a good amount of accessories, but obviously clothing, accessories, that's all going to get expanded. We have a lot of them. It's going to get expanded. More customization options are going to get expanded. That's all stuff that's pretty much guaranteed to happen really at this point. I also would like to see an introduction of a dodge mechanic like what we saw in Budokai and the Tenkaichi and Raging Blast series as well. You know, where you're dodging punches and stuff with the consumption of ki. That's something I would definitely like to see. Another thing, guys, let's have a training mode actually, because not that I necessarily need a training mode, but I would like to test stuff out to see how stuff works without getting beat up by the AI, even though the AI is really weak, and they should definitely have CPU versus CPU fights, for God's sakes, in Xenoverse 2. It's very frustrating to not have them. Also have AI difficulty settings. That would be fantastic. And let me do 1v3 matches, please. I want them to keep the 3v3 and 2v2, you know, multiple player fights. I think that makes Xenoverse work really well. But still, please cater to those 1v1 fights, because they can be very uncompetitive at times. It's very spammy. Let's try to work that in and make them more competitive. I'm sure this is all stuff they're already planning. DIMPS is a phenomenal fighting game developer. They helped develop Street Fighter 4 for crying out loud, and everyone knows that that game's phenomenal in terms of fighting game. Let's see if we can get some spiky hair for Super Saiyan. You know, make the Super Saiyan hair work. If you can't, fine. But it's something I really would like to see, is have the Super Saiyan hair work really good. Not to bring it up, but Ultimate Tenkaichi did it right. Even though that game had a very crap customization option, it did do the Super Saiyan hair good and proper, which I really appreciate. And if we can have Super Saiyan 3, that's good, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen or not. We'll see. Another thing, though, definitely we got rebalanced, like, you know, Allows Ultimates. Obviously, Allows Ultimates have been rebalanced still. Let's rebalance them some more. While, you know, adding a couple more attacks. They already have a ton of attacks from the series. Add some more, obviously. This is all stuff that's going to happen. It's the sequel. It's going to have improvements and additions. And one thing I'd like is kind of have, not necessarily for Super Saiyan, but let's have some custom base form auras that we can have, kind of like how Raging Blast did. Actually, exactly like that. You know, let's have some lightning auras that we can put on our characters. Stuff like that would be phenomenal. And obviously, I think we all want as our character, our custom character, to actually speak in cutscenes for the story mode. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. If it does, I think there's going to be less voice options, so it's a give and take, but I think that having voice acting for your custom character in the cutscenes for the story mode would really help a great deal of the story, at least in terms of getting attached to your own custom character. Pretty much the final thing I want to say is, like Rhymestyle, I really want this game to be next gen, well, not next gen, but current gen only, Xbox One, PS4, and yes, PC. That's going to need to happen, and that's something that, honestly, to be quite honest, whether or not the game comes out next year or the year after, it's not going to be on last gen, if you ask me. It's really not going to be. If you look at Naruto Ninja Storm 4, that's not on last gen, and that's from the same publisher. So, you know, whether or not Xenoverse comes out next year or the year after, I think it's coming out in 2017, in my opinion. It's not going to be on the last generation of consoles, guys. That's just my opinions. I know a lot of people hate me for that, but that's just what I think of it. So, yeah, give me guys your thoughts and opinions on, you know, Xenoverse 2, what you guys want to see in it. Please make some serious comments. Actually, I know that our good friend Corey, you know him well, he's going to comment with some stuff, but I know deep down he loves Xenoverse, and he really wants to see them succeed with a sequel, and I really think that they can do some great things with it. But let me know what you guys want to see in Xenoverse 2. Some real improvements I want to hear about. Is there anything you disagree with me on this video that I mentioned? Anything I should have added? Of course. But other than that, guys, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you later.